everyone. I'm Ernie Nairn, and this afternoon, CBC Television Sports brings you live coverage of the 1975 Senior Men's Basketball Championship from the fieldhouse of the University of Manitoba between the host club, the Winnipeg St. Andrews Super Saints, and the defenders, or we should say the challengers this afternoon, the Halifax Raiders. Surprising as it may seem, this national championship has been going on since the years 1922-23 and has been played annually the past 52 years. In that time, the senior title and trophy has traveled from coast to coast with such names as the Ottawa Rideaux, the Raymond Alberta Union Jacks, Victoria Dominoes, and the Meriton Ontario Hellcats at one time or another capturing the coveted honor. In recent times, both the Super Saints and Halifax have held the title, with the Winnipeggers winning it back in 1971-72, Halifax coming back winning it the following year, and last year the Capellanos of Vancouver captured the honor. As play began last night in this 4-team straight knockout event, the Capellanos saw the Halifax Raiders build up a 6-point halftime lead and down the defending champions 88-82. The Super Saints had the tougher battle last night to earn a playoff berth, coming back from a 40-36 halftime deficit to take Windsor 80-71. And leading up to this final match, last night's losers met this morning in the consolation final, with Vancouver taking Windsor 88-74. Now with their pregame comments, here's play-by-play commentator Brian Williams, along with color analysts Ruby Richmond.
All right, thank you, Ernie, and good afternoon, everyone from Winnipeg. Ruby, the dominant man in this tournament so far has been the Halifax center, Big Gene Doyle out of Holy Cross.
He's a good one, Brian. He's a good shooter, an excellent rebounder, and they're going to have a tough time stopping him today.
Last night, Winnipeg came out running, in particular in the second half against Windsor, ran Windsor into the ground. Can they do this against a big team like Halifax?
I think they can. I think they like to run that ball. They've got some good men and Stows and Towns who can run well, and if they have to slow the ball down, their backcourt man, 5'7", Jaime Fox, does an excellent job in controlling the team.
I like the name.
Yeah, it's a great name. Great ball player.
Let's meet the coaches. From Halifax, the head coach of the Raiders is Tom Inkpen. And Tom, what's the Brian Heaney situation? He's in the hospital, and I see him behind me dressed.
He just got out of the hospital, take a lead pipe to keep him off the floor, so Brian's going to play.
What was the matter with him?
He had an infection in his leg and enabled him to dress.
All right, now he's worth what, 10, 15 points a game?
He's worth 20 points a game. Keeps the team fired up, and he's got a lot of moxie.
Ruby talked about running. Can you run with this Winnipeg team?
I think so.
Okay, that's the head coach of the Halifax Raiders, Tom Inkpen. And now let's meet the Winnipeg Super Saints.
Thank you, Brian. We have with me Coach Bob Hazel of the Winnipeg Super Saints. Yesterday, Bob, the Gene Doyle scored 35 points in beating Vancouver. Do you have anyone that you can match up with Gene today?
Well, we're going to put Bobby Town on him. We think Town can do a job on him with some help from the rest of the guys. I think we got to play a better game defensively for the full 40 minutes. Yesterday we played good defense the second half. First half we were pretty flat.
I see. Town can sky. He's a good jumper.
Yeah, Bobby needs to be motivated, and he wants Doyle, and he's been thinking about him since last night. I think he's going to be ready.
He's going to have his hands full, Bob. Good luck.
Thank you.
Ruby, one thing we noticed last night with the Winnipeg Super Saints, they play a one-guard offense, basically.
That's correct, Brian. They use Jaime Fox in the back. He brings the ball up. He's the quarterback. That gives him a little extra height going to the boards. They use Dave Mills at the other guard, and then they have that front wall of Stows, Town, and Wedlake, who average about 6'5". They're a good ball club.
You've seen Heaney play. He's back today. How good is he?
An excellent ball player. You know, Heaney had 1 year in the NBA with Baltimore Bullets. He's about a 20-point-per-game man. But besides that, he'll give this team a great deal of inspiration today coming out of the hospital.
Okay, we'll look for number 9 in Halifax, Brian Heaney. And we're just about ready to go from Winnipeg. We'll be back with the national anthem and the opening tip-off in 1 minute. Is Wedlake. 8 for Halifax's Doyle. Doyle controls. Off to Cassidy. Halifax in white, Winnipeg in black. Cassidy. And he gets his own rebound, but can't get the shot off as he's fouled. A foul on the play will be against number 24.
They've gone inside right away, Brian. They're going to try and work inside there to Cassidy and to Doyle and see if they can take the inside game away from Winnipeg.
Shooting foul. Doyle makes the first, or Cassidy makes the first point of the game with 19:48 to go in the first half, but he makes the second, making it 2-0 Halifax.
Cassie's a former member of the Canadian national team, Brian. He played with the team for a couple of years and now is a teacher in Halifax.
Stows, number 23 for Winnipeg, Ted Stows ties the ball game at 2.
He's the fella that brought Manitoba back yesterday in the game, Brian. They had a slow first half, and then in the second half, they caught fire, and Stows is the man that did it.
Out of bounds, and Winnipeg takes over. Jaime Fox, number 3, and Ted Stows, number 23. Stows and Mills will alternate in the backcourt with Fox this afternoon as they play a one-guard offense. Wedlake.
Nice move by Wedlake as he moved inside underneath the Halifax man and scored.
You can see the bandage here in number 9, Heaney, below the left knee as he has a badly infected leg. Spent yesterday and last night in the hospital, but he's out and playing this afternoon.
Gene Doyle has missed his first shot.
Down on the jump shot. Rebounded by Cassidy, and Halifax a strong team under the boards.
Both teams are a good size, Brian, and both can go to the board well.
Doyle trying to hit Cassidy underneath, but it was picked off. Fox on the pass, a little too long for Wedlake. He controls, though, back to Stows.
Now they'll set it up. Jaime Fox will control the ball out in top. He's the quarterback, and now they can try and work one of their set patterns.
Wedlake from the outside to Town. It's good.
Nice play.
And the home team, Winnipeg Super Saints, take a 6-2 lead with 18:09 to play in the first half.
One of the things about this Winnipeg team, Brian, that they can run that ball, and if they get into trouble, they'll take their time and work it as they did that last one.
Gene Doyle, number 8 from the outside. Doyle, 6'8", played an exceptional game last night in the win over Vancouver. Ross Wedlake with a hook shot.
Oh, did he go up on that one? That's a goaltending call, and the basket will count.
Doyle, number 8, skying on that one on the hook shot by
Ross Wedlake. Let that one go, Brian, and Doyle was up at the top of the backboard to pick it off.
Mike Flynn is 14 for Halifax as he works over top of Mills. The shot is short. There's Doyle. Number 8, Doyle, making it 8-6. Winnipeg in the lead, 17:22 to play in the first half. Stows, number 23, working against Bezanson. And it'll be Halifax ball.
Foot there, Brian. He tried a pivot on Bezanson.
Brian Haney running well, considering he's just out of the hospital. He takes the shot. Doyle there with a rebound.
Geez, he's tough under there, Brian. They're going to have trouble with him today.
And Cassidy rebounds very well. They've got a strong team, both shooting from the outside, the big men, and rebounding Halifax.
It's an alert play there by Bob Town, who intercepted the inbound pass.
Jaime Fox. Last night, number 3, Fox shot only about 4 times, and I think the only baskets he made were free throws. But he has scored this afternoon. He's the quarterback on this Winnipeg team.
You can't leave him alone, Brian. He's a good shooter. He doesn't shoot a lot because he's trying to work the ball to an inside shot.
Offensive foul on number 8, the Halifax center, Gene Doyle. And Winnipeg will take over. Fox will inbound to Stows. 16:43 remaining in the first half. Winnipeg on top, 10-6. Jaime Fox, I left the name.
There's a traveling call against Bob Town, who went up to shoot, decided he didn't want to shoot, and was called for traveling.
Was intimidated by Doyle. I guess just his presence there has got to make it in twice.
6'8", and he's a rangy ball player, moves exceptionally well, and he's the man that Winnipeg has to stop.
Bezanson is no good from the outside, and Stows rebounds again. He's had 4 or 5 rebounds so far this afternoon. Here on the near side to Jaime Fox, number 3. Across to Stows, he passes off, and the long shot.
The shooting's been a little off so far in the game. I guess the fellas are a little tight.
Cassidy, it will be no good as he's called for traveling. There he is, number 13, Cassidy, a physical education teacher at the Halifax Y.
We've got a number of members of the Canadian national team, or rather former members of the team. There's a basket by Stows, who played for the national team for 2 years. Good. Bob Town is also a former member, as is Ross Wedlake of the Winnipeg team.
Good play underneath there by Stows after an excellent pass from Wedlake. 12-6. Winnipeg in the lead as Halifax gives it to Doyle. Doyle tries to get the long shot away, and Wedlake controls for Winnipeg.
Winnipeg are slowing the ball up, and they'll set for a play.
Town, again intimidated by Doyle. Fox is not, though. Halifax rebounding. Bezanson, number 12, will bring it down. Flynn trying to hit Cassidy underneath. Goes out of bounds off the Winnipeg player, Town. And Halifax will retain possession.
And Town's doing a good job on Doyle. He's making it tough to get the ball into Doyle. And that's the only way to stop him, is to keep him from getting that ball.
Mike Flynn, the taxman.
Right, Brian. He works for the Department of National Revenue in Halifax. They tell me that he looks after the entire team's tax return.
That was Brian Heaney hitting from the outside, bringing Halifax to within 4. They trailed 12-8 here at the University of Manitoba as Town shoots from the outside. 14-8, Winnipeg in the lead. Doyle passes off to Cassidy. He wants to take the shot over Wedlake, cannot. He'll give it back out front to Bezanson. Guarded very tightly there by Fox. Long one by Heaney.
Good job of rebounding by Dave Mills. That's one situation where the big man helps. Nice pass by Jaime Fox, and Town just couldn't get to it.
Is that a pass or a shot?
I'd like to call that a pass, Brian.
Mike Flynn. Ah, how about it?
How do you like that one, Brian? He tapped that one down.
Number 8 is Gene Doyle. That brings Halifax within 4 of the home team here, the Winnipeg Super Saints, with 13:58 remaining in the first half. Here's
There's
the
a shot by Flynn from the side. There's Doyle going up very high against Wedlake and tapping it into the basket for 2. And he'll go to the line for 1 shot when we return.
We have a timeout here taken by Winnipeg with the score, the Winnipeg Super Saints 14 and the visiting Halifax Raiders 10. Back at the University of Manitoba, Winnipeg in the lead, 14-10, as Doyle goes to the line for Halifax. He makes it 14-11. Winnipeg leading by 3, 13:57 remaining in the first half of the Canadian Senior Basketball Championship.
And Halifax has made a change during the timeout. They put in Al Slonwhite to replace Brian Heaney. Slonwhite with the ball coming up.
That basket was good by 12. Town. And Slonwhite, number 5, into the game for Halifax.
And Doyle throws it away. He saw a man cutting underneath, and the pass was just too late.
16-11, Winnipeg in the lead by 5. 13:30 to play in the first half. Wedlake, number 24 for Winnipeg, gets set at the top of the key, gives it over to Jaime Fox, number 3. 5 is Mills. On the top of your screen, he's a big man and plays the guard position as they use the one-guard offense. And the foul is on number 5 right there, the guard, the new player in the game, Al Slonwhite for Halifax.
And Brian, it looks like Slonwhite is going to be close on Jaime Fox to prevent him from shooting the ball.
Town from the outside. He has been pumping throughout this afternoon. 18-11, Winnipeg leads it. Winnipeg in black, Halifax in the white. Here's Doyle for Halifax.
Beautiful shot.
Doyle has not been as dominant so far this afternoon as he was last night against Vancouver Capitalinos. Here's Town again.
Another great shot. Town's playing inspirational ball so far in this game, and that's the kind of game they're going to need from him to win this one.
Winnipeg leads it by 7, 20-13, as Bezanson tries to drive against Stows, and it'll be Halifax ball. Went out of bounds off the Manitoba player. Mike Flynn. Mickey Fox. Cross to Stows here, back to Fox. Town has been deadly from the outside. Tries to drive against the big center Doyle. And Doyle is called for the foul, his second of the ball game.
Town's smaller than Doyle, and perhaps a little more agile and mobile than Doyle, and may give him some trouble on defense.
Jaime Fox, number 3, guarded very tightly in the corner by Slonwhite, the 2 smallest men on the court. This is Stows, 23, into the lane.
And he breaks through. Good basket.
9-point lead. Winnipeg 22, Halifax 13, 11:58 remaining to play in the first half. And Halifax trying to get something going here. Doyle, the center, number 8, with a long shot.
It's
from
good.
The outside.
When Doyle went up that time, he had 2 men on him.
Halifax, a good ball club, and boy, they played a great game last night without Brian Heaney.
Yeah, they sure did, and they had to win that game against Vancouver.
Fox gives off to Mills.
Good outside shooter, Mills.
Number 5, Dave Mills, puts Winnipeg in the lead, 24-15. And Mills was burning from the outside last night against Windsor.
Nice pass by number 5, Slon White, to number 13, Cassidy, as Cassidy broke into the lane.
Halifax back to within 7, 24-17. 11 minutes remaining in the first half. Fox will take the shot.
Nice try by Jaime Fox as he drove to the basket and couldn't get it up high enough.
And a substitution in the game coming in for Halifax will be number 11,
Sandy Young.
5'11" guard who played university ball at Westchester State of Pennsylvania. There's the miss shot. Miss shot there by Jaime Fox. And we've had a timeout here in Winnipeg.
And Stowe 6.
Cassidy jumping against Town. Cassidy controls, but Fox nearly took it away from Sandy Young. And the foul is on number 11 for Halifax. Sandy Young, 5'11" guard from Westchester State in Pennsylvania.
You know, Sandy Young, Brian, played against Will Chamberlain when they were in high school.
Winnipeg goes ahead 26-17 on the basket by Town. Slon White. And Winnipeg now starting to be strong underneath. Wedlake getting that rebound. Winnipeg leading 26-17. We're down to 8:40 to play in the first half. Fox is the quarterback. He'll set it up.
And they've adjusted, Brian. They've now put Doyle on Mills. And they have Flynn on Town. Town had 12 points.
Nice bit of defense there by number 5, Slon White on Fox, forcing the turnover.
Here's a shot of Fox coming around the pick. Slon White, number 5, gets on his arm, it looks, and the ball is called. And a foul on the side. Ball for Halifax. Number 5, Slon White, bringing it in.
Brian Heaney, number 9, coaches the St. Mary's Huskies and played in the NBA with the Baltimore Bullets for 1 season. University ball at Acadia. There's Slon White, number 5. Back out to Heaney, the long shot. Halifax controlling Cassidy across to Slon White. He'll take it. Cassidy with the rebound.
Cassidy, one of those players, Brian, that keeps that ball alive. If he can't get the ball on a rebound, he'll tap it up again, which helps a club like Halifax.
Mills from the outside. He did this last night against Windsor in the second half. Mills, number 5, the big 6'4" forward, can really pump.
Good shooter. Nice pass by Brian Heaney into number 5, Slon White, who gives it to Cassidy.
And again, Wedlake on the boards for Winnipeg. 24 Wedlake. Winnipeg leads it by 9, 28-19 with 9:34 to play.
And the ball just won't drop for Winnipeg.
Halifax starting to play tighter defense. Mills from the outside will not be good this time. And the foul called on Winnipeg. Number 23 is Ted Stowes.
And that's his first foul, Brian. He's been playing a great ball game on both boards and has 6 points to date.
Stowes, a graduate from right here at the University of Manitoba. Heaney faked the shot, but a nice bit of defense there by Stowes.
Heaney faked the shot, put Stowes in the air. Stowes recovered, was able to get his hand on the ball and prevent Heaney from scoring.
There it is right there.
There it is. Goes inside to Cassidy. The ball, I'm sorry, that was Flynn, and he missed and a foul. Cassidy's on the, Mike Flynn, I'm sorry, on the line for 2.
Flynn misses the first. The foul was on 24, Ross Wedlake. Winnipeg leads it 28-19, and he misses them both. Down comes Fox. To Town. Town's hot from the outside. Tries to feed it underneath to Wedlake. Stowes trying to retain possession, but it'll be Halifax ball.
The defense here, Brian, is really tough.
And we've got something on the floor as one of the officials goes out to... And we're all set to go. Brian Heaney inbounds to Slon White. Down come the Raiders. They trail it by 9, 28-19. men.
That's the third foul on Doyle.
5 fouls as a team on Halifax, and it really didn't look like pushing off, but we'll see
number
right now.
5, Slonwhite, with the looping pass to Doyle. And Doyle had pushed off on Bob Town, and that was his third.
Number 5, Dave Mills puts Winnipeg in the lead by 11, 30-19. And as I say, Doyle didn't look like he was pushing off on that play, but he's picked up 3 fouls now.
He's going to have to be careful this half.
Cassidy was no good, got his own rebound. Was no good again. And the foul will be on number 5 for Winnipeg, Dave Mills. And Cassidy, number 13, John Cassidy, goes to the line for Halifax. 6'5" forward out of Dalhousie University.
Mills is the oldest player on the team, number 5 for Winnipeg. He's 34 years old, 6'4", a former player at the University of Manitoba, now in the investment business.
Cassidy makes them both to bring the Halifax Raiders within 9, 30-21. Speaking of old players, or not old players, but the eldest player in the team, shall we say, or in the game, is Sandy Young. He tells me he's 37. I don't know. Heaney tells me he may be a year or two older, but number 11 for Halifax,
Heaney won't admit to being older than 37. The 3-second call
nullifies the shot by Town, and Halifax takes over. There's Heaney.
I've seen Heaney play before, Brian, and he's not playing at his full capacity. The couple of days stay in the hospital certainly must have affected him.
Well, he's not driving. It's got to affect his shooting, too, but he's not driving as much as he usually does.
Plus, he may not have full mobility on that leg, which means he's going to have trouble getting his shots up and trouble playing his usual game.
Halifax now has 16 fouls. Winnipeg in the dark, leading it 30-21, 7:45 to play. Jaime Fox and Halifax Heaney with a sore leg, bandaged up below the left knee. Brian Heaney brings it into the corner, back to Bezanson.
If you can see Heaney's left wrist, you'll notice that the hospital tag is still on his wrist, as he just got out of the hospital minutes before this game started.
Bezanson, Cassidy misses the tip in. And I don't know, I thought we might have had a jump ball there, but it looks like Halifax is going to retain possession.
I think that Wedlake had one of his feet out of bounds. There's the shot going up, and they're battling for that ball. Number 24, Wedlake has it. Cassidy has it.
You can see Wedlake's foot was out of bounds.
Yes.
24, Wedlake, as he was laying down, had his left foot out of bounds, so Bezanson will inbound for Halifax. They trail at 30-21. And the 3 fouls have hurt Halifax. Those are the 3 fouls on their big center, Gene Doyle. I'm wondering about Heaney. I see the hospital tag in his wrist.
There's Bob Hazel, coach of the Winnipeg Super Saints.
As I say, wondering about Heaney. I wonder if he left voluntarily.
It was very hard to say with Brian Heaney. It would be very difficult to keep him out of this ball game.
Well, he left voluntarily, but shall we say, I worded that wrong, I guess. I wonder if he left with doctor's permission. Where we had was Heaney was going to play ball, whether the doctors said yes or not. 17 fouls now in Halifax as Winnipeg leading in the dark. Bring the ball down. Number 3, Jaime Fox. To Dave Mills. He's tough from the outside. Watch him. Not this time.
Right on, too, Brian.
And Halifax, as the ball goes out of bounds, off 24 for Winnipeg, Ross Wedlake. 6 minutes, 59 seconds remaining to play in the first half from the University of Manitoba. Brian Heaney. And he's short.
He's not able to get his full height on that shot. That's one of the reasons why he had trouble scoring on that.
Nice play by Bob Stowes.
Great move by Stowes underneath against Bezanson.
Stowes, 6'4". University of Manitoba makes it 32-21. Winnipeg in the lead. Here's Bezanson.
And it's good.
32-23 now. Halifax trailing by 9. 6:27 to play in the first half.
Brian, it doesn't appear that Halifax have been playing as well as they played yesterday, and yet they're still in this ball game. They're only down by 9 points.
Well, Town was looking for Ted Stowes underneath, threw the ball out of... And there's the score here at the University of Manitoba. Super Saints leading by 9, 32-23. Halifax in possession. Brian Heaney from the outside.
It's good. That's about a 35-foot shot by Brian Heaney.
Haney's shooting has been pulled as he's bothered by that leg injury. That makes it 32-25. Winnipeg in the lead. Mills feeds it to Stows. Ed Stows is called for traveling.
And that may be a break for Halifax. It looked like Gene Doyle may have fouled him after the traveling call.
Well, a basket here by the Raiders will bring them within 5. Flynn to Bezanson. They want to get it into Doyle. The turnaround jump shot is short. Cassidy, a great rebound.
And Doyle keeps it alive. Doyle's got the ball. The shot's up. Good.
Oh, yes, yes. Beautiful shot by number 8.
There's a good example of Cassidy keeping that ball alive to give Doyle a chance to get in close and get that ball.
Big Gene Doyle brings Halifax to within 5, 32-27. And the foul will be on 12 for Halifax, Bezanson, as he slapped Jaime Fox.
And they're into the penalty situation, Brian. Jaime Fox will go to the line for a 1-and-1. And there's Steve Bezanson, who committed the foul. Steve was a late cut with the Canadian national team and will be given the opportunity to try out again this year with that team.
Jaime Fox at the line for Winnipeg, and the bonus situation is now in effect.
And Coach Bob Hazel has been talking to Ted Stows and Dave Mills, giving him some change of plans for the Winnipeg team.
Fox makes them both. And the
good
Saints
foul
lead.
shooter, Brian.
Well, those were the only points he had last night. The Saints leading 34-27. Heaney is short from the outside. Bobby Town, number 12 for Winnipeg, holds up, fires, short. Mills. There's Doyle.
And when that ball's near him, boy, he really controls it. One thing Halifax have not done, they have not been moving that ball. Everything's been stationary with the Halifax team. That's Cassidy with a beautiful turnaround jump shot.
Cassidy brings the Raiders back to within 5, 34-29, 4:42 to play in the first half in Winnipeg. Winnipeg in the lead. Jaime Fox.
It's good.
Well, Jaime Fox is shooting 200% better than he did last night. There he is, number 3, 5'7", playmaking guard from the University of Manitoba. Cassidy.
Can't leave him alone, Brian. That's the one thing about him.
Again, Town rebounding. Well, Town, number 12 in dark, was burning from the outside before. Now he's rebounding very strong. Fox decides to set things up. Brings it back out. He gives it to Wedlake at the side of the key. Here's Town. Off the backboard.
Town took Mike Flynn in the corner, put him away with a fake, and then drove to the basket, took that short jumper, and scored.
Winnipeg by 9, 38-29, 3:51 to play. Heaney is no good from the outside. And again, Fox controls for Winnipeg. Winnipeg leading by 9. Oh, nice play.
Move by Fox. And a great tap by Wedlake, who followed the play.
Nice play by Fox to set it up. And the tap in by Wedlake gives Winnipeg an 11-point lead, 40-29. That's Bezanson for Halifax, now 40-31.
That's the one place that Jaime Fox may hurt that Winnipeg team, is that on defense, when he has to go against a guy 6'2" or 6'3", he has some trouble.
Doyle rebounds Fox shot. Bezanson working on Mills, takes it to the far corner. To Heaney. Heaney looks to Flynn. Good bit of defense there by
Beautiful
Stows.
shot by Doyle. Doyle got that block shot in close, and there's a steal by Bezanson. Can't control the ball to Brian Heaney, and it no good. Just wouldn't go.
Well, that all coming after a nice basket by Doyle, as Doyle is now starting to make his presence felt. Halifax trailing 33-40.
Doyle looks tired out there, Brian.
Stows with a rebound and Wedlake shot from underneath, and the basket counts.
Brian Heaney giving away a couple of inches to Ted Stows, try to take him underneath, but Stows was too big, cut out on the other side and scored, and will go to the line for one.
There goes Brian Heaney out of the game. Into the game are number 5, Albert Slonwhite, and number 4, Carmen Sterrett, who is 6'7", from Acadia University. Stows at the line. Does not make the three-point play. Cassidy rebounding off to Slonwhite. Guy's a pretty fair shortstop in softball. Slon White, that's Cassidy.
Nice shot by Cassidy from the corner.
With 2:21 to play, Winnipeg 42, Halifax 35. Cassidy bringing them within 7. As I was saying, a pretty fair shortstop in baseball.
Understand that he was in the Canadian Championships in the softball last year, playing with the Halifax team.
This is Bezanson for Halifax. They're down by 7, 42-35. Cassidy from the outside.
And he makes another.
1:56 to play, 42-37. Cassidy hits for Halifax.
The Halifax are hanging in there, Brian. It's only a 5-point ball game, and they haven't played up to their potential. We'll start this evening in Windsor, and the Canadian Senior Ladies Tournament has been going for 2 days in Halifax, and will finish tomorrow.
Here at the University of Manitoba, senior men's, Winnipeg in the lead.
Play by Manitoba. The Winnipeg team cut an offside forward. Stowe underneath. Here's Stowe's cutting underneath. Gets the ball from Wedlake out deep, and he's fouled on that play.
Foul was called on the line for Jensen. That brings Ted Stowe's to the line. A shooting foul, 1:37 to play. Is Winnipeg Saints in the lead by 5, 42-37.
Stowe's will be going for point number 13.
He's got it.
Got it. Stowe's is now the leading scorer for the Winnipeg team. Town has 12.
He makes this, they'll be in the lead by 7. They are 44-37, 1:37 to play in the first half. Winnipeg leads Halifax, Canadian Senior Men's Championship. Slon White, Cassidy. Good shot by Cassidy, and
Doyle makes no mistake. He took that ball up high and put it through.
There he is, number 8, Doyle. 44-39. Winnipeg leads it. After the basket by Doyle, here's Bob Town. Foul is on number 4 for Halifax, holding Cameron Sterrett from Acadia University, and he works for Maritime Tel and Tel. What does he do?
Well, he's a computer communications consultant, and then speaking to him yesterday, Brian, he said he was going back to school to try and learn how to pronounce that. We had trouble ourselves, I'll tell you.
He didn't do bad.
Yeah.
Town misses the first.
I'm impressed with the way Town's playing this game. He played a pretty good game yesterday, but today he has a tough job at checking Doyle, and he's done an excellent job of that. And besides that, he's added 14 points.
And he's also been rebounding well. He was shooting hot there. There's a score, 45-39, Winnipeg in the lead. But he's also been rebounding well on defense. Doyle.
That was a nice pass by Bezanson, who noticed that Town tried to front Doyle and looped it over his head, but unfortunately it didn't go in.
Doyle has got 3 fouls, number 8, yet he's playing very aggressive ball underneath the basket. In fact, I'm surprised he hasn't been called a couple of times. Shot by Bezanson is short.
And there's the 4th on Doyle. And that was a silly one. That's the kind that he couldn't afford to get.
That's number 4 on Doyle. We were just talking about it, and bingo, there it happened. He already had 3, picks up the 4th.
And Mike Flynn, number 14, has come in for Doyle, and that's going to be the deciding factor in this ball game, because Halifax have to have the scoring that Doyle can provide.
And Halifax was down at the half last night to Vancouver and came back very strong, and the reason they came back so strong was the play of Doyle. Here's Wedlake. Will not get the second. Winnipeg controls. Jaime Fox, number 3.
Nice pass by Fox.
With a big smile.
And the crowd here, the hometown crowd for Winnipeg, cheer as Fox penetrates well, brought the big man off Wedlake, then slipped the ball inside to Wedlake, who scored, and he's got 1 shot.
He makes it a 3-point play, and Winnipeg goes into the lead by 9 with 46 seconds to play. Winnipeg 48, Halifax 39. Bezanson, number 12, to Flynn, 14. Flynn is in the game for Doyle, who has 4 personal fouls. Finally finds Bezanson open, and Winnipeg now playing tight defense.
They look like they're trying to put 2 men on the ball wherever the ball is underneath, with only 26 seconds left. They'll play for 1 shot here.
They lead it by 9, 48-39, as they hold for 1 shot here at the University of Manitoba. 14, 13, 12 seconds to play in the first half of the Canadian Senior Final. Fox.
And it's good. He's played a whale of a the game today.
2 seconds, the final shot of the half.
And it rims the basket and doesn't go in.
Sanson misses at the half. And the first half ends in the Canadian Senior Basketball Championship.
There's a shot by Fox. It's up and it's good from about 20 feet.
That was
a rather exciting first half of basketball today, and I guess that for the Super Saints, people like Ross Wedlake and Dave Mills and, of course, Bob Town were standouts along with Jaime Fox.
Tremendous. I think Bob Town is one of the key factors in the game. They're having a very hard time handling both Town and Stows, and if they don't find some way to handle them, they've tried to do it with their big men, with Cassidy and Doyle, and it hasn't worked out well at all. As well as Doyle has picked up his third and fourth foul trying to guard people.
Well, you know, Jack, I know you were out in the truck watching the first half, and you have some highlights for us this afternoon, so why don't we take a look at them right now?
First one we have is a shot of Jaime Fox. Let's see, ball knocked loose here. Jaime, a very nice steal. Now, Jaime comes down and does something he didn't do last night in the ball game. He goes right through and takes the shot and puts the ball up. They have a lot of trouble with Jaime right at this particular moment. I think they're going to run it now in slow motion. We'll see here that he spreads out the defense tremendously. So he's got everybody with their back to him, and he stops in around a foul line somewhere. Now, last night he was passing the ball up on this and passing it out, but he's putting tremendous pressure on him now as he gets down. He made a very nice stop, actually, technically a nice stop. Also, and a good jump shot. This has been a key factor. Jaime is running the team.
General on that court each and every play, isn't it?
2 or 3 points last night, and he's got 8 already today. The second one, I think, is a very important shot. It gives us an idea of how much trouble they're having with Bob Town. Here's Bob Town coming right off a screen and putting the jumper up. As you can see, he catches both Doyle and Cassidy in this. Doyle and Cassidy switches on, but he can't handle it in time. The size difference bothers him. In fact, Cassidy does a much better job than I thought. I didn't realize it. Watching it slow motion, he did an excellent job of pursuit, but they can't handle Town on that. Now, I think if the game does change, 11 points is a lot of points to make up for in a short period of time, but if the game should change, it will change because of the next series, which shows both Cassidy and Doyle with what they do best of all, and that's rebound. Of course, we have to remember Doyle has got 4 fouls and may not feel as if he can get involved in this type, but here it shows a shot going up. Well, wait till we get it right on the.
Would you say in the meanwhile, Jack, that... Oh, go ahead.
Right, well, here we go. I'm not sure what we have on right now. Would you say a great job of getting inside, knocks the ball a little loose, gets it here, takes a shot. The ball gets knocked loose again, and it looks as if now it's going to Winnipeg, but it's tapped again. Ball's batted back out, and here's Doyle again. Both Doyle and Cassidy tremendous. 17 points for Doyle, 14 for Cassidy. That could change the game if they could both stay in the game, stay alive, and do the job scoring as well as rebounding.
Jack, thanks very much. What can we look for in the second half?
I think that Halifax has got to come out and play them a lot tougher. They've got to go inside to both Doyle and Cassidy and be no problems.
And more consistent scoring.
Yes,
right.
That's right.
Jack, you'll be back at the end of the game with more for us, I hope. Thank you very much.
Certainly hope so.
Jack Donahue.
For Halifax, and rebounding a big difference. Winnipeg out-rebounding 36-20. Winnipeg the big edge in defensive rebounds, 21-7. Gene Doyle is back in for Halifax in white. He has 4 fouls, and the second half is underway.
And some of the defensive move by Brian Heaney as he knocked that ball away with the man clear underneath.
Here's Wedlake. That makes it 52-39. Winnipeg in the lead. In the first half, Wedlake had a total of 9 points. Town was high with 13 for Manitoba. Here's the shot by Doyle.
And Mills does a great job of rebounding underneath and gives off to Jaime Fox.
Winnipeg leads it 52-39. Remember, number 8 in white. Gene Doyle has 4 fouls. Mills from the outside. Sanson coming down for Halifax. Now Flynn. And Halifax shooting off. They're not going to outrun this Winnipeg team. They're going to have to outshoot them because Winnipeg a very fast team led by their playmaking guard, Jaime Fox. Here's Wedlake.
And he started off the second half with 2 quick hoops. And now Halifax are going to have to work much more quickly on offense and move that ball around. They're all standing around the Halifax team looking for that easy shot.
Brian Haney feeds it into Cassidy. Cassidy makes it on the turnaround. It's 54-31, or 54-41. Winnipeg leading, 18:39 to play in regulation time from Winnipeg. Bob Town, number 12, had a hot first half, both shooting and rebounding.
That Manitoba team are moving that ball well. They don't get that quick break, then they slow the ball down and they work it around. Men are moving at all times. Screens are being set. There's Town with a nice shot. It just fails to go.
Ed Stows, though, controlled the rebound. The Jaime Fox to Town.
Nice pass and a good shot by Town down deep.
Now it's Winnipeg by 15, 56-41. And in that first half, the Halifax scoring pretty well dominated by two players. Doyle had 17, Cassidy had 14, Heaney had 4. There's Doyle, number 8, back out to Heaney. Heaney, the long shot. It's just a little short, rolling over the top. As I was saying, Doyle had 17 points, and he's the man they got to rely on. He's got 4 fouls.
The only other man that's in double figures for Halifax is Cassidy, who played a 3-ball game.
Nice basket by Ted Stows, number 23. 58-41, Winnipeg in the lead. Brian Haney playing with the infected left leg. He's out of hospital about 2 hours ago, in fact. He came from the hospital straight here.
That ball went off the foot of a Winnipeg player, and Halifax will inbound to Brian Heaney.
Heaney to Doyle.
Pass to Doyle. It's good.
I thought he was going to take the hook shot there.
I thought he was, too. It was about 15 feet out. But I think he saw Doyle take good position inside, and he let him have that pass.
Winnipeg by 15, 58-43. Hope you're enjoying the Canadian Senior Men's Final live from the University of Manitoba. Mills good from the outside, but he's not that time. He's a good outside shooter as well as being a good rebounder. Mazanson, Cassidy, across to Flynn. He'll take it. Once again, Winnipeg controlling the boards at both ends. Here's Town.
Nice steal by Bazanson.
Head to Heaney. He drives it against Stows. Stows ties him up, can't get the shot. Bazanson got it, but it was short. And again, Mills takes the rebound as Winnipeg and their one-guard offense controlling the boards at both ends. And again,
Jaime Fox is going to slow it up here, Brian. One thing we didn't mention in the first half, Brian, that Gene Doyle, who is leading the scoring on the floor today, is a pupil in basketball, at least, of national coach Jack Donahue. He played 3 years at Holy Cross for Donahue. Nice basket by Stows.
Ed Stows, number 23, makes it 60-43. Winnipeg by 17. Here's Doyle. It'll be Winnipeg ball, and Town will inbound.
And that was a tough one for Doyle. He drove underneath, went to the baseline, tried to come up underneath, and hit the ball on the bottom of the basket and went out of bounds.
13:56 to play in regulation time. The Winnipeg Super Saints, of course, 60-43. They're going to go now as we're back underway. Town to Stows, to Fox.
Appears to be some problem with the clock, Brian, but they're playing in any event, and they'll be using a stopwatch on the bench.
Town from the outside, and Halifax will bring it down. Brian Heaney repeating, we have some problem with the clock here. It shows 15:29 to play in the ball game. Whether that's official or not, we don't know. We'll have to go by that. Heaney.
And it won't go. Nice shot by Heaney.
3 seconds. Winnipeg takes possession, leading by 17, 60-43.
And Winnipeg have taken control of the game now, Brian. They have a good lead. He's setting up for good shots, and they've got the momentum going for them.
The foul is on Winnipeg on number 23, Ed Stows. And number 2 of the afternoon for Stows, 6'4", a teacher from the University of Manitoba. Live action, Cassidy.
Nice shot by Cassidy. In close.
Cassidy, who had 14 in the first half, makes it a 60-45 ball game in favor of Winnipeg as Mills puts it in from the outside. Dave Mills, 6'4", from the University of Manitoba, and like the rest of the starting 5 on this Winnipeg team, a teacher here in the metropolitan Winnipeg area. Halifax in white. Doyle's got 4, number 8. Heaney, nice bit of defense there by
Doyle
23
is having
Stones.
trouble underneath as they're trouble in triple teaming him. Heaney's trying to get the ball inside to Doyle for a shot.
Hey, Stowe's 23 is playing good defense on Heaney.
Great defense on Heaney, and he has some size on Heaney, at least 2 or 3 inches.
Heaney tried to use Doyle for the pick, but it's just not working. They can't get him free for anything.
And Halifax just aren't able to score. They're doing a great job on defense, this Winnipeg team.
Unofficially, we have 14-14 to go in regulation time. Winnipeg, Jaime Fox, the quarterback of this team. Now, Mills can really gun from the outside, as we saw last night against Windsor. And our producer, Bob Smith, tells us the time is now official. Town.
And that Town has played a whale of a ball game today, Brian. He's done a great job intimidating Doyle. Even though Doyle has scored well, he's done a great job in making him draw 4 fouls because he's just not able to stay with Town on defense.
Heaney will go from the outside. That makes it 64-47. Winnipeg in the lead. There he is, Brian Heaney, former star at Acadia, now coaching St. Mary's as Bezanson steals for Halifax. Holds up across to Heaney. Heaney will take it.
And it's good.
2 in a row for Brian Heaney. Now 64-49. Winnipeg by 15. 13:20 to play in the second half. Heaney working on Fox. And Heaney's leg seems to be a lot more mobile in this second half.
Well, I guess he figures that he's got to go now. There's only 13 minutes left, and it's do or die.
Here's a good ball player, 23 Stows.
Now Town. Nice shot. Halifax just can't defend Town and Stows. With Mills doing a good job shooting from outside, what has happened is that they've fallen back inside, and they've given them the outside shots, and they're hitting.
Brian Heaney hits for his 3rd consecutive Halifax basket, and they trail by 15, 66-51. Wedlake on Cassidy. Oh,
Doyle cleans the boards. Out to Brian Heaney.
He's shining the boards. He not only cleaning them this afternoon. That's how he played last night. Number 8 in white, Doyle. Here's Cassidy for Halifax down the lane. Doyle actually got up too high, or he would have had the tip in.
I think that Doyle is concerned about drawing that 5th foul. On that play, I think he would have probably had the rebound, but he just reached with one hand and tried to scoop it.
He played for Jack Donahue at Holy Cross. Donahue, of course, done such an outstanding job with our Canadian national team.
Nice play by Stows underneath, Brian. Stows on a backdoor play, took the pass from Jaime Fox and went in for the easy basket. There it is out in front. Jaime Fox to Stows, and he draws the foul on Bezanson.
Foul was obvious there at number 12, Bezanson, with 11:58 remaining in the second half. The score here at Winnipeg in the Canadian Senior Final, Winnipeg Saints 68 and the Halifax Raiders 51. There you see it, our second half score here in the Canadian Senior Men's Final from the University of Manitoba. As Ted Stows goes to the line, he'll try to make it a 3-point play. He does.
Point number 21 for Stows.
Very balanced scoring for Winnipeg. As opposed to Halifax, Doyle got 17, Cassidy 14 in the first half. They did most of the scoring. Nice move there by Heaney.
And it's a foul on Ted Stows. And he's starting perhaps to get into foul trouble now. They couldn't afford to lose him. Nice rebound by Doyle as he went up high to tip in that ball.
Big Gene Doyle. And Heaney's moving now like his leg's not bothering him at all.
He's playing a lot better now, Brian.
He's going to have to because they're down by 16, 69-53. There's Stows. Oh, yeah, beautiful play.
Beautiful offside cut by Stows, who cut off the high post, took the pass from the wingman and scored. Here it is. There he is, busting off. Brian tried to stay with him, couldn't. Cassidy tried to get him, couldn't.
And Winnipeg just scoring as we come back to live action. 71-55, Winnipeg in the lead. 11 minutes, actually 10:58 now to play in the ball game. Here's Ross Wedlake.
And a nice basket by Wedlake as he spun. Cassidy just not able to get him.
Now they're taking them inside, and this Winnipeg team has the height to do that.
Well, they can go outside or inside. A beautiful basket by Doyle on a spinner, a left-handed hook spinner.
Now, I know Donahue taught him that one.
Isn't that the shot that Jack was practicing out here last night?
Yeah, he was 0 for 20. By the way, if you get a chance to hear Jack Donahue speak anywhere across the country, our national coach, by all means do. I'd say he's second only to King Clancy, a great speaker, and he's doing an excellent job for amateur basketball in this country. He will be our coach at the Olympics. That's Jack Donahue. Foul is on Halifax. I believe it's on 14 Flynn. And Winnipeg in control. Jaime Fox to Wedlake. Wedlake will take the long one.
That's one of the few he's missed today.
And we have the foul on number 3, Jaime Fox.
Jaime Fox tried to draw the foul on that one by making it look as if number 5, Slonwhite, had dribbled into him, but he didn't.
Brian Heaney just missing, and you can tell that he is just off by about a hair.
Not by much.
Wedlake.
Nice basket by Wedlake.
Now Winnipeg starting to move out in front. They lead it by 18. And starting to move way out in front, I should say, 75 to 57. Doyle. Cassidy couldn't quite get the tip in.
Nice basket by Cassidy, who kept that ball alive.
Second effort by Cassidy. No basket. There's Cassidy there, number 13. John Cassidy, 6'5", from Dalhousie University, 27 years old, and a phys ed teacher at the YMCA in Halifax.
And they disallowed that basket, saying that there was a foul committed before the basket was scored. And Halifax retains possession.
And Winnipeg, it's important not get in the penalty situation. Doyle.
Nice. He's some ball player.
Gene Doyle.
Brian, this perhaps shows you that this game is a team game. Halifax are relying on Cassidy and Doyle to score, whereas Winnipeg it's a balanced scoring up. There's Mills scoring. Mills now has 12 points.
And in that first half, they had 4 or 5 players in double figures as they take the lead. Winnipeg, 77 to 59. Gene Doyle
operating underneath
against Town, and I believe the foul will be on Town, number 12. There's a shot at Ted Stowe's. Here's the play.
There's a shot. The ball goes into Doyle. He fakes to his left, goes to his right, up, hangs, throws, and a fall on Bob Town.
You could hear the slap from here. Easy going, Gene Doyle. And I think Doyle wants to know, are we in the bonus situation yet? Maybe?
Brian, while we have a minute, we'd like to thank our statistics.
Gene Doyle goes to the line. 2 shots. How many points for Doyle? Doyle gets the second, and it's a 2-point play. Now 77 to 60. Winnipeg by 17 as we're down to 9:05 to play in regulation time.
And if Halifax are going to come back, they've got to start right now.
This one-guard offense that Winnipeg runs is effective, isn't it?
It's very effective. It's the type of offense that the Canadian national team have been using because it gives you more mobility. It gives you better big man inside to go to the boards.
Of course, to run it, you've got to have big men that can shoot from the outside like Mills, number 5.
Right. Great rebound there by Doyle, who clears to number 5, Slonwhite.
Halifax trailing 77 to 60. They're in possession. This is number 5, Albert Slonwhite. Gives off to Cassidy. He'll take it. Halifax loses possession. Went out of bounds off Doyle.
And Town doing a great job there rebounding as he got inside position on Doyle and kept it. They were able to retain possession of the ball.
Little man against little man, and Jaime Fox had the ball knocked away by 14 Flynn. And Flynn is called for the foul. Here's the slow motion.
Here's Jaime Fox spinning to his right, goes all the way up, and Flynn reaches in over top of Fox, hits him on the head, and he'll have 2 shots.
It's a shooting foul for the Fox. A shooting Fox for the foul. Jaime Fox, very popular here in Winnipeg.
On that last one, Brian.
We have a substitution. Number 15, Ruppel. Tim Ruppel is into the game. He's 6'2" guard. An interior decorator, he told me, here in Winnipeg.
Former member of the University of Manitoba team. Gives Dave Mills a rest.
And Jaime makes the first of 2. He told me before the game, he said, I'm going to shoot this afternoon. I'm going to be tough. He makes the second. Now Winnipeg by 19, 79-60, 8:06 remaining in the second half. That's Bezanson. To Doyle to Cassidy.
It's good.
John Cassidy hits for Halifax, 79-62, 7:55 to play here in the second half.
And that's been the story, Brian. Halifax have been getting scoring from Doyle and Cassidy. Have been unable to get any scoring from any of the other three players.
Ruppel came into the game last night. He usually comes in with Hannock, or he did last night. The two of them came in together, but he's in alone tonight. Or this afternoon, I should say.
Manitoba taking their time here, Brian. They're working for a good shot.
They lead it by 17, 79-62. In the dark, Jaime Fox, the quarterback of this team. Ruppel is number 15. He wants to shoot, but there's no way he's going over Doyle. Ruppel looks up, and all he sees is the 8 on Doyle's sweatshirt.
I think it's pretty tough playing in that game when you're sitting on the bench and you see your man out there, he doesn't look so big, but when you're standing next to him and he's 6'8" with big long arms.
There's Tom. We've been talking about his outside shooting, but also the rebounding, and there's a great example of strong rebounding by number 12 for Winnipeg Town.
You know, Brian, after the game they'll be choosing the most valuable player, and they certainly have to consider Bob Town, who's done an outstanding job on defense and an outstanding job on offense.
Ruppel does not make his first shot of the afternoon, and Halifax will bring it down.
And they did an excellent job there of working the ball, working the clock, running it down.
For the Winnipeg Saints over the Halifax Raiders with 6:40 to go in the game in the Canadian Senior Men's Final from Winnipeg. Young is into the game now for Halifax, number 11. Sandy Young. Here's Heaney.
And it drops. Looked like it was going to be short, hit that front rim, and went in.
Halifax now down by 15, 79-64. Sandy Young into the game. He's the one with a beard. Tells me he's the oldest player in the tournament. Very proud of that at 37. Wedlake gets
great
the rebound.
And a great shot by Wedlake.
81-64. Winnipeg controlling the game.
That was kicked out, and Halifax will retain possession.
Injuries have played an important factor in this whole tournament. Vancouver Caps, is it Price, Billy Joe Price with a broken arm?
That's right, Billy Joe Price, 6'9" center, broke his arm 30 seconds to go in the game for the BC Championship and was unable to play here.
And Brian Heaney playing at about 40 or 50% of his capability for Halifax.
Alex Devlin, member of Canada's national team, and one of the top players on that team, was unable to come here with BC as he suffered a floor burn which became infected, and his left knee was blown up quite badly and was unable to come play here in the championship today.
Vancouver, the defending national champions. Brian Heaney. Stowe's number 23 playing good D and Heaney. Heaney gets the shot, though. Won't go. Doyle.
One thing, Brian, Doyle is a lefty, and it appears that when the defense is going up against him, they're going up as if he was going up with his right hand, and he seems to sneak that left-handed hook in there.
Well, you can't stop that sky hook by Doyle. He's got 2 inches on every man on the court. He's 6'7". Winnipeg's tallest player is 6'5", but the problem is getting the ball into Doyle at the low position and getting him to take the shot.
Doyle's the leading scorer on the floor now with 28 points.
And 4 fouls. 4:46 to go in the game. 81-66. Winnipeg leads it. Ruppel for Winnipeg. Jaime
Looks
Fox.
like Manitoba, the Winnipeg team, are playing the clock now. They're going to run the ball, wait for the good shot.
This is something they didn't do last night. Remember against Windsor, they were leading by 2 or 3. Here we go.
Now there's a good example. Jaime Fox penetrated, brought the defense to him, went to shoot, and then fed off to Ruppel, who was cutting through for 2 points.
And head coach Tom Inkpen.
Fox coming in, fakes in the air, looper pass to Ruppel underneath, who goes up for the 2 points.
I was forced to sleep in a bathtub last night in the motel. It was so darn noisy, and it wasn't bad till somebody turned on the shower on the floor up above. Here's Heaney.
And it's good.
Nice touch. 83-68.
Funny, Brian, I was next door, and I didn't have any problems.
You were out later than I was. Winnipeg 83, Halifax 68. Winnipeg in dark, they control here at the University of Manitoba. They get a shot of the Pison. There he is, or his legs anyhow.
Nice play by Town, who shot from the corner, moved in, recovered the rebound, and scored.
Town certainly a candidate for most valuable player in this game. Bob Town, number 12. Here's Heaney for Halifax.
And he loses it. Ruppel has the ball.
I don't know. Ruppel looked like he was walking. Goes out of bounds off Bezanson. That's Bezanson for Halifax, number 12 in white. 12 in the dark is Town. Bob Town.
And this is a nice ball club, this Winnipeg team, Brian. They have 3 members on the front wall, Wedlake, Stowe, and Town, who are former national team players. Jaime Fox, a former member of the great basketball player.
Well, that was a shooting foul called against Doyle. And Bob Town made the first of 2. We'll see if he gets the second. He does, and let's watch that Doyle foul.
Here's a drive, up in the air, up high, goes underneath. Doyle trying to get out of the way, but couldn't, and commits the foul.
Back to live action. Slonwhite now into the game. Number 5, Albert Slonwhite scoring for Halifax. They're down by 17, 87 to 70. 3 minutes and 4 seconds to play. Ruppel won't go. And Brian Heaney has the rebound for Halifax. Looking for Cassidy. Had it taken away by Wedlake. And Manitoba now playing super basketball. They lead it by 17. We're down to 2:40. Jaime Fox cannot shoot over top of Sterrett.
And it goes back out on top, and they'll run a little bit of clock here and run the ball game down.
Cameron Sterrett, number 4 into the game, also for Halifax. Big man, 6'7".
It's a nice try. Deep as Hansen. Try to save that ball and keep it alive.
And right beside us, inbounding here, will be number 12, Bob Town. And coming in now for Halifax is number 10, Jim Guild, replacing Brian Heaney. And a nice hand for Heaney, just out of the hospital this morning. He was in since yesterday with a badly infected leg. There he is with a towel, the coach of St. Mary's, former Acadia star. And he played a strong game. Guild is into the game from MacDonald College in Montreal. 5'11" guard and a teacher in Halifax.
And Brian Heaney left for 12 points. Jaime Fox cutting through for 2.
Gene Doyle, the score 89 to 70. Winnipeg by 19. 2 minutes exactly to play. And Halifax controls. Slonwhite, number 5. Here's Guild from the outside. Hitches won't go. Slonwhite will take an attempt.
And it won't go either. Jaime Fox with the rebound, but he threw it away, trying to set up Ruffo on a fast break.
Bezanson trying to get inside to Cassidy. Has it go out of bounds off number 24, Wedlake, and it's Irv Hennick, also a University of Manitoba product. He's 5'11". And
Jaime Fox on Guild there, Brian.
Jaime Fox played a strong game, and as Jack Donahue pointed out at halftime, he came out shooting tonight, which is not what he did last night. Bob Town. Rebound by Sterrett.
Well, that was one of the few poor shots that Winnipeg have taken today.
Halifax down by 19. They remain down by 19 as Guild misses the long pass ahead to Stowe. And he collides with Guild.
And Hennick gets the rebound and scores. And Stowe went up high, tapped the ball. Hennick came in, recovered, and scored.
Here's slow motion.
There's that long pass
play.
again. Stowe's up high. The ball goes free, and watch Hennick come in on your right. Jump in the air, pick it up, and lay it in softly for 2.
91 to 70. Winnipeg leading by 21 after that basket by Hennick, and the big crowd here at the University of Manitoba.
And he's replaced by a pretty good ball player too, Dave Mills. Nice shot by Guild.
Mills is back into the game, number 5, replacing Wedlake. Mills was one of the original starters. We're down to 49 seconds. Winnipeg will win the Canadian Senior Men's Final. They lead 91 to 72 by 19. 40 seconds now to play. This is Bob Town. He loses to Cassidy and to Bezanson.
And Irv Hennick gets back quickly to knock that ball away to Stowe, who again almost loses.
Nice play by Guild. Good play by Guild, number 10. But Ruppel has it. He'll give off to Town. Back to Ruppel. Good pass by Town.
Nice pass by Town to 12, Bob Town.
Replaced by number 10, Ron Smith. 6'1" guard from Jamestown College in North Dakota. Winnipeg scores again, 93-72 by 21. 9 seconds to play. The Winnipeg Saints will win. Foul is on Bezanson. No, it goes. Bezanson is short with 4 seconds to go.
Still won't go.
2 seconds. This is the ball game. The final score.
That final shot from about 70 feet hits the rim. Winnipeg Saints.
Winnipeg wins it 93-72 after an all-round team effort here this afternoon. Bob Town just played a great game.
And now they're lifting Jaime Fox to the top to cut the net down. The privilege of the winning team. Number 3, Jaime Fox up on top, cutting the net. Being held by Bob Town, Ross Wedlake, and Ted Sowes.
Jaime Fox, number 3, who came out shooting this afternoon. He's usually the playmaker. He was the playmaker this afternoon, but also shot, and he completes. One more, Jaime. There we go.
And here are some of the scores, Briar. Jaime Fox had 12 points. Dave Mills, 10. Bob Town, 23. Ted Sowes was a high man for Winnipeg with 25. And Russ Wedlake, who did a super job rebound, Wedlake with 21.
And the scoring for the Halifax Raiders, Doyle high man with 28, Brian Heaney with the injured leg at 14, Bezanson 4, Cassidy played well, scoring 20, and Slonwhite had 4 points. Slonwhite 4 for Halifax. Halifax losing it 93-72. There's a dejected Halifax bench. Number 11 is Sandy Young, and Tom Inkpen, the head coach. And a shot of the national trophy won here this afternoon by the Winnipeg Saints by the score of Winnipeg 93, Halifax 72.